Guys and gals, friends and pals, we are back in a little bit different video today. I'm in my basement of my new farm, which you're going to see upcoming videos on that shortly. But the reason we're down here today is the well pump. I got a jet pump, shallow well here. The well pump, the impeller is junk. So I bought myself a rebuild kit. A couple of videos online for this, and I thought I'd just do my own video to kind of hopefully help someone out, because most of the videos I saw online didn't give much detail. And the one video I watched, the guy didn't even know what the one part was that he was taking out. He couldn't find the part and was right in plain sight. Anyway, watch the video, hopefully it helps you out and you can get your well back together. Okay folks, this is the Red Lion 3/4 horsepower jet pump, good for shallow wells up to 25 feet deep. Been a good little pump. We had some problems with losing prime on this well for a little while, and I think that caused my problem. But basically, with this thing all torn apart, we're going to show you the reverse order how to put it back together, and the parts that come with the new kit. You can see this is the back side of the impeller. That is all melted. So what happened? This pump had ran dry overnight because I lost prime, and it just heated that plastic impeller, and just the shaft is spinning inside the impeller, and the impeller wasn't moving. So anyway, we got it torn apart. This is the cover that goes on your motor. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Let's take a look at this here quick. So you take it apart. This is your cover for between your motor, and this is your wet dry seal, I call it, between the shaft and the electric motor and your pump seal. Now this was the part that the guy got in his kit that he didn't know what it was. He didn't even see that in there. So we're going to go through changing that out. And this here is, I think it basically diverts the water. You'll see it as we put it back together. So let's just see what's in the new kit. So I picked up the Red Lion repair kit, rebuild kit off of Amazon. It's good for the 3/4 or 1 horse motors, pumps, whatever you want to call it. Let's show you what we got in there. Okay, so here's our new kit. We got our new diverter, water diverter I call it, new impeller. Comes with your seals. You got your other seal here, your bushing, O-ring, new plastic. This is the nose cone. This goes to the inside of the end too as well, you'll see. But let's start assembling this thing. Okay, next we want to replace that outer seal around there. So I'm going to pull that off, put the new one on there. So I'm just going to pull this off here, and we'll make sure it's all clean and nothing in there that's going to be an issue. Guys, I really got to get some better camera setup for you. I'm sorry, but now we'll get more into the whole farm out here and the move and stuff, and other videos you have to watch for them. I'm hoping to get them out before this, but I don't know if I will or not. Alright, so we got the old seal off. Let's put the new one on and keep going here. So the first thing we're going to do is take and tap the seal out with a screwdriver. I kind of press it out already, so I can hopefully just take my finger and push down on it so you guys can see, like that. So now that's without the seal in it. We'll put the new seal in and see it back together here. So if you look, here's the old seal. Part you're going to have pacing up now. I've seen a lot of guys grease these and put oil on them. I don't like doing that, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I just worry anytime you're dealing with oil or product, I worry about that causing the rubber to swell up, break down, whatever. I just like to use some dish soap. So we're going to grab some dish soap here just to put that on there, just so a little bit of lubricant as we slide this in here. Mechanical seal and our pump. So let me go get some soap and move back to it. So as you can see, I got just enough soap on there to make it a little slicker so we can press this in. Guys, I'm gonna have to put the camera down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up. I'm trying to get a spot where I can show you more, but it just ain't working yet. Hang on. Okay, so our seal's pressed in there. See, your rubber gasket in here. Round it. Make sure you work that all the way around so it's even all the way around. Okay, so we got our pump tipped up here on top of my makeshift bench here. I'm going to grab, I still got it all hooked up, I didn't unhook it from the thing. With wiring just because I wanted to keep it close. Anyway, one less step I got to mess with. I don't know if you guys can see that on here, but see that like corrosive area? That's where water had been leaking by the seal too. So good time to replace that seal while we're in here messing with this. And this thing just sets down in there. There's no particular way it has to go as far as this goes. Okay, so we got the seal on. Rubber seal, it's all the way on there. Make sure you press it down good. Some of these come kind of tweaked, a little bent up. Just lay something on to flatten them out for a little while. I am doing this right away because I need water. But yeah, if you got a chance, we can flat that out a little bit so that rubber seal isn't kind of wavy on you. But it'll be fine. It'll get pressed together. Next thing we'll do, we're put our bushing and our impeller on. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is replace our bushing here. When you put this in, you want the fiber side facing your ceramic seal. I call it fiber, I don't know what they call it, but you don't want the metal side out. You want the metal side out. You don't want this side facing you. So you go right on like this. Next, we're going to put on our impeller. There's our new impeller. I'm going to spin this on here, guys, but it's just regular threads. Now, once I get so far, on the back of your motor, there's a slot for a regular screwdriver. I'm going to show you that here in a second. Like so. Now, this is where you want to be really careful. Stick that screwdriver in the back like I just showed you. You want to take something really flat, file or something, and stick it between the vane and use that to tighten that down. Remember, this is a plastic impeller, so we need to be real careful. We don't get cranking on it too much, and we don't damage the impeller. I can't remember what they call this, a blute or something, but anyway, the nozzle on this piece here comes in the kit. Now, if yours is fine, you can probably leave it. It's not going to hurt anything, give you a spare one down the road. But as you can see, this piece here on mine is broke right off. So, and your O-ring actually sets between here and here. So we're going to pull mine out and replace it. Okay, guys, if you're like me, you ain't got money to throw around and waste on stuff. That's why we're rebuilding this thing in the first place. So this here, probably put an Allen wrench in there if you can find one that gigantic. I got every size but. So I went out in my garage and found myself, I think it's a 1/2-inch bolt. That fits right. That fits right in there. Now we're not going to care about this bolt because it came out of our trash bin. Clamp on there with your nice pair of vice grips and we'll spin this out of there. Let me put this down and show you. Really didn't take much to break that loose. It's just plastic threads. Little side note though, if you're going to use a bolt like me, get a little longer one so you're out past the housing. Easier to get your vice grips attached to it. That was my struggle here. And just screw this out. There's our piece there. And as you can see, there's our nose cone in there. Now that, we should be able to take a socket and get in on that. Here's a new one of those. We just want to paste it that way. And thread the new one in there. Now, let's see if we can see in there, see if our nozzle is good. We could leave that. What would you do? Put it in the comments down there. You got the part? Do you save it for next time? Or do you use it? Save the one that's there for next time. We're going to change it just because we've had this thing heated up a couple times, so we don't want to take a chance that that's melted and deformed or whatever. So we're going to swap it out. So just take your deep socket, little extension, crank that out of there, good to go. So I don't know if you guys can see that. We're going to pull that out, as we were just saying a minute ago, but there's something blocking inside that nose cone. So I'm glad we took this apart. I don't know if it's part of the old impeller or if it's just debris from the well. You know, this point is sand point, so we probably got some, could be a little stone, could be anything. So we'll dig it out once we get this out. So just as suspected, guys, it's a piece of the impeller is blocking our nose cone. So look at the restriction of the volume of water we're going to get out of that. So I mean, they give you the parts, let's use them. If you take it apart and that nose cone, that blue cone is decent, fine, save it and put it in your pile. But it was $26 for the whole kit, so we're doing pretty good here. Anyway, I thought I'd show you that, you know, little parts and that stuff that you know, you worry about getting through the rest of that. And that stuff that you know, when things break off, it's got to go somewhere. Guys, like I said, that's just a little plastic part there. So when you're putting that in, be very careful not to over tighten it. I'm notorious for that. Just trying to remind you all so you don't do the same things I've done in the past. Alright, so let's put our volute, I think they call it. Anyway, in next. It slides in there, you got your O-ring pasting out. Again, guys, I am so sorry for the camera angles here. One, it's been a long time since I've done a video. I've been working on this house non-stop. And two, I just ain't got things set up here yet the way I want to. Anyway, again, I'm going to put this down so I can get this threaded in here for you. Once again, with our makeshift wrench, we're just going to tighten this up again. Plastic threads, don't get too aggressive with it. And we'll be good to go there. Just a reminder too, this O-ring here, let's put a little soap on that O-ring as well before we put our other plastic piece on. Okay guys, this white plastic piece just presses in there. I just took my thumb here and my other thumb and pushed evenly on both sides and popped it over that O-ring. Putting that little bit of soap on there helped it pop right in place. You want to make sure this is about recessed about an 1/8 inch like that, so it's far enough back. It's all sealed up now. Now we can start assembling our pump to our motor. Okay, so now we have 4 bolt holes here on the outside of this seal plate. Our nose cone is just going to bolt right to that with 4 bolts. I'll show you here quickly. So here's our nose cone, and we're going to get into detail how to prime this in a little bit, but this is how this is where your prime pipe. And I got a little hand pump we put on top of that. And I tell you guys, this is the easiest way to prime a well pump in the world. It literally takes just a matter of 30 to 60 seconds. As soon as your arm can pump that water up there, it's got prime. And then this ball valve here, I shut off once I get prime. And then we can turn our well pump on and go from there. So let's take this piece here. You can see the 4 bolt holes. We're going to attach our nose cone there. We got our seals on ready. So we're ready to assemble this to the front of the pump. So It has 4 little bolts here. I shouldn't say little, they're actually pretty decent sized bolts. Attach that to, and we'll tighten it down. I'll show you. Okay guys, just because we're honest and we want you to know that I make just as many mistakes as everybody else out there, I just bolted your 4 bolts on the motor, you know, that I just told you guys about. But as you can see, the bracket was mounted to the bolt. The 2 bottom bolts should have went through that bracket. He and I just went to go put the pump on the bracket and just realized that. So just it made sense in my head because it was sitting on my little makeshift bench here, but I should have set it on there and ran my bolts through. So anyway, I'm going to move my little board quick, put my bolts back in there, and then we'll go to hooking everything up. Anyway, you can laugh at me for that one. So there it is, guys, all back together. You can see the brackets on there now. Now we're going to set it back in place down here, and we'll start bolting in and show you what we got. Okay, so a quick final overview. What we found, what we had, that gasket was actually good. This fiber bushing, decent shape. This bushing's fine. Obviously this thing here, end broke off in it, which O-ring, this O-ring here was literally goes on the end of this between them 2 pieces, which is 1 piece. That was wadded up inside that cone. This nose cone here, as we saw, has a piece of impeller in it. Actually, I think it's a piece of this housing here. And then this other piece was stuck inside the well as well. So, that's what happens when your well pump gets starved for water. You lose your prime. We had some other issues going on here. Anyway, we got it all back together now, and let's go show you how we got this piped. So guys, this is going to be, here's my well, my pipe coming up out of the well. As you can see, this is my main feed from the well. Here's my check valve. Now, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Some guys say to put this check valve vertical, which I think is not a, it's probably a better idea. Less chance of stuff getting caught in there. What I've had happen in the past is that check valve, you get stones or little debris that gets sucked in through your well there, and it gets caught in that check valve unless that check valve not closed so it doesn't hold your prime. Let me know what you think. Anyway, from there we got our union. We have our pump up here, and then this here, you got 1 inch coming out of here, and that feeds to my, sorry, I'm doing a horrible job doing the camera. So this feed comes, so if you look from the T there, that feeds over to my pressure tank. You got a valve to shut off between the pump and the pressure tank. Then leaving the pressure tank, the blue line, there's actually a valve there. Shut that off, and then I got a bypass, which I don't know if you can see the bypass the softener. But anyway, so we can, and then I got my manifolds here, which I got kind of down because I'm crimping more stuff on there. But every fixture in this house has its own valve, and but needless to say, what we're getting to is now it's time to prime this thing and make sure it's working. So we got our power hooked up. That's good to go. One thing we forgot to do, guys, when we're doing this. So this line here is for your pressure switch, your little water line there. Now that is notorious for plugging up in here in this line and not letting your pressure switch shut off. We had a pressure switch fail, it wouldn't shut the thing off, and that's what caused that thing. It ran. Anyway, let's hook this up, and then we can start priming. Okay, so guys and gals, friends and pals, we're back, and we're going to prime this thing. We have our valve shut off here from our pump to our pressure tank, so there's no water going. We're stopping the water from going past here. Where our T comes up, we're going to open this valve here just below my hand pump. Now what we're going to do, you can do this 2 ways. If you got a little water, it's going to make it a little bit quicker. What we're going to do is take a little bit of water We're going to pour down in here, especially if you got a new hand pump. Just pour down enough in there till you see it start to come out of the spout. Okay, so we just put the water in the top of our pitcher pump here. We got our valve open. Now we're going to hand pump this. Make sure you get your pitcher pump corrected so it's not bouncing off your lines and stuff, so it kind of land free. Because we're ideally you want to keep the water away from the electrical connection. Then we're just going to start hand pumping this so we get a steady stream of water. All right, now we got a steady stream of water coming from our hand pump here. Now we're going to shut this valve, and we have prime. So, wipe off any water you got next to your motor to be safe before we turn the power on. I don't got much, but I just want to clean it up. Now, if you heard that little where a pump was trying to kick in and out, I had this valve closed still. I just cracked this. But as you can see, I'm building pressure right now. Now we got to fill our gigantic pressure tank here. But guys, we already got prime. I mean, this is like seconds we got prime. After we get to the hand pump, right away we're already pulling water. And this is going to start filling up. And we got our pump there in case of an emergency. Like when this pump went out, I was able to pump buckets and buckets of water until I took the pump apart. Now, I have a 40-60 pressure switch on this. And I like to slowly crack this valve open. I don't know if it makes a difference. You guys can put in the comments as well, but just to slowly fill that tank and not let the pressure drop tremendously. When I'm first trying to get primed, just so I get a good flow going. As you can hear behind me, that thing's filling up with water pretty quickly here. Which it should with that nozzle not being plugged now and everything being new. So far, except for where it's filled water, everything's dry back there. Our seals are good. I'll open that valve all the way up. You'll see it drop just a little bit, but we got the valve opened all the way up. And we'll just let this run. Now I just didn't put this giant pressure tank in here, so my well doesn't run as much as it was. Anyway, we'll let that thing fill up, and then we'll open the valves up to the rest of the house and make sure we get all the air out of the lines. There you go. There you go, guys. $26 solved the problem. So there you go, guys. 26 bucks. We got the well back working. Everything's good to go. Make sure you stay tuned. A lot more content coming out on the house project. Kind of a spoiler there. But we got a couple videos come out, tell you what's going on with that, and then some other big plans happening. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, guys. Appreciate all the help.